to Yoga Bliss Online. I'm going to discuss what Om is. It is a word that we chant at the beginning and often at the end of yoga practices. And it is the primordial sound of creation. So the first sound that ever vibrated into the universe. So when we chant Om, it actually has a very healing effect in the mind and the body, just even by chanting it. We often see it as Om, Om, it's what it sounds like. But actually, in its traditional version, it has 3 parts to it. And it's spelled A, U, and M. So we're going to break it down and try chanting all 3 parts. Okay, so the first part, the A sound, is like a long A, as in father, ah. It has an ah sound. And so I just invite you to hold on to your belly, and we will make this ah sound together. So breathing in, Good, and it has a very deep resonance to the sound, like it comes from the earth, the ground. The next letter is a U, and this one sounds almost like oo, like but when you put the A and the U together, it gets closer to the O sound. So just for now, let's pronounce the oo sound, okay? And this time I just invite you to bring your hands to your heart, so somewhere on your chest. I'm going to try not to hit my microphone. Okay, so breath in. Ooh. And you might have noticed that isn't as deep. It's moving upwards. It's not as deep as the ah. We have an now ooh at the heart. Okay, now the final letter is M. I call this the good part. So this is when you bring the lips together, because ah, ooh, your mouth is open, and the final part you have to bring the lips together. But it's not just simply M sound. And of course the tongue will be dropped when you do that. Give it a try. You can feel the tongue dropped. So you want to start the sound with the tongue dropped downwards, but then move the tongue upwards into the roof of the mouth. And it changes from an M sound almost to an M-N-G sound. Okay? It's known as a ring. It sounds like a bell ringing. We'll give it a try. Okay? Good. And I don't know if you kind of got the flavor of that, how even the vibration in your mouth feels different when the tongue is dropped to when the tongue is in the roof of the mouth. Okay, so we're going to do that one again, but this time I want you to just play with it for fun, where you drop the tongue, you lift the tongue, you drop the tongue, you lift your tongue, drop and lift and drop and lift, just to get a sound of the ring. Each time, ring, it gets that ring. Okay, so breath in. Good, it's almost like you're tasting it. You're taking that in, the Om. Okay, so let's join our ah, ooh together to get more like the O sound. Okay, and really you start with the ah, and then you start to bring the ooh, it then moves into the O. Okay, it's very subtle. I'll do one first, you can listen to it, and then we'll do it together and you can give it a try. Of course, I finished it with the lips together, but this part, I just want you to get a hang of the ah, just beginning from the ground and moving into that ooh, oh sound, okay? So with me, breathe in. Ha. Okay, now it's really important when we bring all three sounds together that you don't waste all the breath for the ooh sound. Even though it's so fun to kind of belt it out, I always say save enough breath for the good part when the mouth comes together. Because otherwise it might sound like this. Oh, and you don't have enough breath to finish the ring. Okay, so really practice balancing that out so you have enough breath at the end. So again, I'll chant one full one for you again, and then we'll have a little practice and play together. Okay, so just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, your shoulders are back and down. Taking a full breath in. If you really listen to it, it starts off in this deep resonance of the earth, and then it kind of moves up into, through our solar plexus, through our chakras in our heart, and it comes to the throat. When we get to the good, and the tongue goes up, it moves into the third eye, and then off into the cosmos and the ethers of the crown chakra. So the sound just kind of dissipates at the very end. Okay, I'll do one more, and then we'll join in together. I'm feeling calmer already by demonstrating it with you. Okay, so let's join in together. Feel free to listen or join in when you want to. We'll do several. We'll just do several in a row, and then we'll just pause and feel the effects and check in, okay? Feel the effects. If you chanted, or even the effects of listening to Om has many benefits. It can help to calm the nervous system. It's really good for self-soothing, regulating the nervous system. It can just bring you into this moment of presence, in this timeless now. Maybe while you were chanting with me or listening, you weren't somewhere else in your mind. You were actually just being here, being present for the chant. And if your eyes are closed, you can open them again. Okay, so my friends, that is a little bit about the Om and why we chant at the beginning and the end. It's kind of like a bookend. We have the beginning and we have the end. And it reminds us that we are co-creators with the universe. And I do believe our yoga practices are beautiful ways that we can change patterns that don't serve us And the only way we can do that change is by being in the present moment. So we really make that declaration at the beginning of our practice, and then we make it at the end of our practice before we go back into our day, knowing that every action we take, every thought is having an effect. It is actually co-creating our own existence. And Om is such a healing and beautiful chant in and of itself, just to chant the Om. So why don't we finish our time here together by chanting one final Om, and we'll join our hands together in Anjali Mudra, this mudra of reverence. And really what we're revering here is the true self within, the place within us that is our bright place. It's our inner light, our inner truth. It's a place that's always peaceful. It's a place where we feel free, it's spacious, and where joy can bubble up and arise. So it's beautiful but even by just choosing to chant, and even the repetition of Om, even without chanting it just in your head, Om, Om, is a beautiful way to keep the mind calm and keep the mind present. So before we finish our final Om, in my classes, I always like to offer the sigh breath first. And you can think of this sigh breath. First, it's very similar to an Om in a way, although we don't bring the lips together. But we're just exhaling, and it represents just the exhale to just relax into the now. And it's also a way that we clear space. And so moment to moment, it's important we're clearing space so we can move into new possibility. Okay, so we breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth, literally making an audible sound of sigh. And this is also scientifically proven now to calm the nervous system. So you can do sigh breaths as well. So breathe in through the nose. Sigh it out. And we'll sing an Om together.